Yeah, on the ball spreads prediction show coming to you guys live on July 10th, 2026, where it is the books Friday. And man, we're going to run it up. We're going to cash some slips. FIFA was massive yesterday, posted 4 plays. 3 of them cashed. 1 of them is active today as we had Spain game involved in that as well. Let's see what we can do, what type of damage. We cashed a home run parlay yesterday. Jordan Walker, Matt Olson. We also hit on the Juan Soto and Wilson Contreras as they voided out Contreras. So guys, we hit 3 home runs yesterday. The day before, we hit another one on a void slip. We'll take it how we can get it, man. Blowout alert is what you're looking at. Sign up for free. The link is in the descriptions tab. And right over here on signals, we cashed on the home run signals. We cashed the top 10 yesterday to 60% rate. The top 10 signals, 6 of the guys hit. It was free money yesterday on the home run signals. I get it. Sequencing is the hardest part. Who to put together. You easily could have put, one of the guys on the list that just didn't hit a home run out of the 10, but 6 of them did. And that's just the next level of it. You just got to get better about coming up with a formula. My formula is never put 2 A players together. I like to go A and B players. To me, Jordan Walker's a B player, and Matt Olson yesterday was an A player in their matchups in the hitting environment. You also have to take into consideration when making a home run parlay the run environments, guys. So you've got a moderate run environment today in Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, but in Philly and Detroit, you have a higher run environment. That is a game you may want to target more than you would want to target a home run here. So if a guy has an edge in this one and then an edge in this one, typically your A player or B player would come out of this matchup, and then you would rinse and repeat. I did a home run tutorial for you guys on the YouTube. Go check it out. All right, but let's get into the slate. Yesterday was a fairly good day. Could have been better, could have been worse. As you can see, these are our plays that we took yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out so we can review it at the end of the show. Decent little day, nothing special. Right around 500 yesterday. The Yankees, I was very surprised by what they did to the Rays. The Phillies, we were on the Phillies, and they only won by a run. It was 1-0. That was a weird game in itself. That was not a matchup where it should have been a 1-0 game by any means. But yeah, that's it. It was a righty pitcher. Phillies didn't take advantage of it. Let's see how they get down today against Detroit, and we'll review that game. We're getting ready to start and get into it. But before we do, guys, Onyx odds, spend 10, get 200. Link is in the descriptions tab. Just sign up, get yourself some free money, get yourself some free bets. Back in March Madness, I used this code. I signed up. They gave me 100 for free. I flipped it to 400, and then I took that 400 on a 2-leg parlay. And next thing you know, I had $2,000 in my account off of a $10 deposit. I know they hate me for that one. But guys, let's do some more damage today. MLB, let's see what we can cook up. I do have a trip coming up later tonight. Flight leaves at 7:30. I'm excited to get going and enjoy Las Vegas, man. I'll be in Vegas for a little bit, Los Angeles for a little bit. Probably logging some bets on Kalshi. And as you guys know, my brother manages my account when I'm gone. So, yeah, I'll still have my FanDuel reads from my FanDuel clients. I know it's one of the more popular books. So let's get into this slate, man. Let's rapid fire through it. Let's work our way very quickly through it. I know I try to keep the videos under 15 minutes these days. So let's see what we can do. All right, let's get into it. Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. You've got Ashcraft taking on Sprout. Sprout is in a better direction here as of late. 1 earned run, 2, 0, 4, 1, and 3. He's played better since his return in late May. I really like what I've seen out of Sprout, but I do think that Ashcraft is the better pitcher here. Milwaukee does hold a slight edge on the run differential by half a run. I don't think that's substantial enough, but Sprout has played a lot better on the road. He's got a 3.75 ERA versus a 7 at home. Ashcraft, on the other hand, has played really good baseball. He's had these 2 outings here in the last 6 weeks where he got peppered, but outside of that, he doesn't give up a lot. I like the bats for this Pirates order. I think that 1 through 6 all can hit the ball really well. I think this is a good spot for the Pirates back at home in a bounce-back spot after not hitting the ball that well in their last series. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates here on the money line at -126. I do agree with the blowout alert edge here at 15 engine points. I think they're the better team. They're the clearer team. And Sprout, as a righty, is a spot for the Pirates who have crushed righties over the last 30 days. All right, next one up, we have the Detroit Tigers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, guys. You have an 11-point engine edge over here to Jack Flaherty and the Tigers, taking on Aaron Nola. If you guys know how I feel about Aaron Nola, I haven't liked what I've seen out of him this season. If you just look at his trend line, he has a lot of red in there, and then his baseline is right around 2 earned runs. You know he's going to give you 2 to 3 earned runs in his start, and then anything after that, he's susceptible to, a big earned run game, 5, 3, 7. He can give up a lot. Flaherty, on the other hand, in his last 5 starts, has 3 games, 0 earned runs. His baseline is trending right around a 2 earned run game. I like what I see out of Flaherty. His strikeout stuff has improved, 9 and 5 in his last 2 games. I think that Flaherty has another spot here today where he controls the mound. His control is better than Nola's. These bats for the Tigers, this offense that I've talked about all year long, looks like they're starting to wake up. Give me the Tigers here. A lot of value at minus 119. Not overjuiced here in a game that I believe has an implied probability of around 60%. So go ahead and give me the Tigers here on the money line. Next one up, New York Yankees, Washington Nationals. Yankees have been the thorn in our side, man. When we bet them, we lose. When we go against them, we lose. Today, we're going to go with Ryan Weathers and the Yankees again, see what he can do. Ryan Weathers was supposed to start yesterday. He was a spot play for me. I thought Rasmussen was the better pitcher. They decided to hold on to Weathers for today. Whether it's Lytle, whether it's Palmquist, I don't think there's an edge for the Nationals. They do have a very bad bullpen. I think that these bats for the Yankees have looked really good here as of late. We do know the Washington Nationals have really good bats as well. I think this is a game here where it's not you don't take the Yankees on the money line, you take them on the run line if you're going to play them. I know the engine edges with the Nationals ever so slightly because Ryan Weathers has played better at Yankee Stadium than he has on the road. There's a run differential edge +3 to the Washington Nationals. We know their bats are really good. But for me, guys, I want to ride on the side of the Yankees improving here. They're looking like a better team over the last couple games. I think the Yankees continue to improve, and they can get after these pitchers here in Lytle and Palmquist, whichever one the Nats roll out today. All right, give me the Yankees on the run line. Next one up, Kansas City taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Brandon Young has given up more runs here recently. He's starting to kind of trend in the wrong direction, in my opinion. He's still playing really good baseball, has decent strikeout stuff, 5, 8, and 5 on the strikeout side. But Avila's been no slouch either, man. He's been pretty consistent, 0 earned runs, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1. He's only had 3 games in his last really 2 months where he's gotten worked. I don't think that these bats are consistent enough with the Orioles to really get after Avila. I think that the Royals are a good look for the plus half run on the first 5 innings. So give the half run to the Royals on the first 5 innings a look. And then for the sake of the show, guys, we will go with the spread here, plus 1.5 on the Royals. But I really like that first 5 innings on the Royals. Not on the money line, but on the run line. They're getting a half run at minus 115. I think that's a good look for a lot of value on a Royals team that's hit the ball really well over the last 30 days. So give me the Royals on the first 5. All right, next one up, guys. Cubs, Reds. This is one where you're probably like licking your chops. You're like, man, Hunter Green's on the mound. One of the better strikeout pitchers in the MLB. But look, both of these teams really poor bullpens, not good. Emenyaga hasn't looked great in most of his starts this season. He's given up a lot of home runs, a lot of earned runs. Look at how many home runs Emenyaga has given up on the season, man. 21 home runs. Emenyaga has been just getting exposed. But this team here in the Cubs, they've been one of the better hitting teams in the league over the last 2 weeks. I think they continue that trend. Their run differentials +2 to the Reds. If there's bats versus a poor bullpen, I think the Cubs come out on top here. I want to be on the side here with the Cubs at minus 114 on the money line. I am a Hunter Green fan. I am a big believer. I saw that minus 106 and I started licking my chops like, okay, let me look into it a little bit more. But he's having some control issues. And then when I looked into his minor league starts, he had control issues there, giving up multiple walks, walked 4 guys, still has his strikeout stuff, 8 earned runs, giving up multiple hits. I can't trust Hunter Green here. I want to be on the Cubs side of things, and I think that Emenyaga can continue to build off of his last 2 starts where he's only given up 2 earned runs. Give me the Chicago Cubs here on the money line. All right, next one up, Cleveland Guardians, Miami Marlins. I think Marlins have won 7 in a row now. They're heating up. Alcantara is a consistent pitcher. I know he does have times where he just gets blown up. I don't think that's the case with these Guardians bats that really haven't hit the ball all that well over the last 30 days. Parker Messick's moving in the wrong direction. 4 earned runs, 2-2-4. He had a decent outing in his last start against the White Sox. But that's another conversation to have. The White Sox are moving in the wrong direction with their offense. Yet last night was a perfect spot where they could have won that game multiple times, but it ended 2-1. The White Sox bats just haven't been there this week. I don't think that that Parker Messick start against the White Sox with 1 earned run is all that impressive. I think he's got to face some really hot bats here with the Miami Marlins with the clear run differential edge at +2. And honestly, Alcantara plays really well at home versus being on the road. Sharp money has moved in on this line at -122. I like this game here at -122 with the Miami Marlins. Give me the Marlins and we'll keep it moving. Next one up, Nick Martinez on the mound with the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners' bats have just been dead. They've not been there. You guys know how I feel about Castillo. I think he walks batters too often. But here recently, he hasn't been doing that. Hasn't been putting guys on the base. He doesn't have that great of strikeout stuff. Just kind of an average strikeout pitcher. Gets you anywhere between 3 to 5. Nick Martinez, he's regressing as well. He started the season so sharp, but he is regressing ever so slightly here in the month of June. 3 earned runs, 3-3, 1-1. Maybe he can build off of those starts there. His strikeout stuff is lowering as well. But I love the bats for the Rays. We're going to continue to ride the Rays at Tropicana. It's a long 162-game season. There's going to be times you win. There's going to be times you lose. That's why it's important to try and find those prices that pay you even money, just because when you take those losses and you take those wins, it offsets. It is a long season. Like I said, we did take a loss with the Rays yesterday, but we won the day before with them. I think this is a spot where we can come back and we can bank on the Rays to get us right again and get some of that money back that we lost to them against the Yankees in that series. So I'm going to go with the Tropicana bats here with the Rays taking on Castillo. I think they can get after him. All it takes is a few runs. I don't think the Mariners bats are alive and awake right now where they can really get after Martinez. And I do think that the better bullpen, in my opinion, is the Rays currently over the last 30 days. So if it's a tight game, I still think that the Tampa Bay Rays can generate a couple runs. The bullpen can keep these quiet bats for the Mariners at bay. But I will say Cal Raleigh has had success against Nick Martinez. Cal Raleigh would be worth a spot to look at for a home run today. If they are going to win the game, they need a game out of Cal Raleigh, who just hasn't been the same player this season. But I think that he may wake up a little bit and generate some runs as well. I don't think it's going to be a scenario like Ben Rice yesterday where Ben Rice pretty much single-handedly beat the Rays with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. I think that today you're going to see Yandy Diaz, Arenado, Junior Caminero. I think these guys can get after Castillo, get some hits. I think this is a higher scoring run environment. I'd give a look at the over as well here in this game. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line and the over in Seattle, Tampa Bay. All right, guys. Next one up, Boston Red Sox taking on the Mets, where you got Nolan McLean on the mound, who's an absolute ace versus Sonny Gray. Look, this is a tough matchup to call just for the simple fact that you have 2 aces on the mound versus 2 teams that really haven't hit well over the course of the season. But the Mets bats have woken up. Juan Soto, how many games in a row now? 4 in a row home runs? Or no, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the last 7 games, he's hit 4 home runs. Juan Soto's heating up. These other bats in the lineup are starting to generate hits. Bo Bichette, multiple hit games over the last 10. I think that the Mets can get after Sonny Gray more than the Boston Red Sox can get after Nolan McLean. Give me the Mets here on the money line. I'm not going to get cute with the run line because I do think this could be a closer game for comfort. So I'll play it safe here and I'll find something to parlay that with. Give me the -148 on the Mets and we'll keep it moving. Next one up, A's, White Sox. You just heard me talk about the White Sox. I know Burke's on the mound. Burke is one of the better pitchers in this rotation, sub-4 ERA. He has given up 7 hits, 4 hits, and 6 in his last 3 starts, but he still has kept those runs down due to his strikeout stuff and missing a lot of bats here. Jacob Lopez, on the other hand, hasn't been hot, hasn't been anything to write home about. 4 earned runs, 7, 4. He's just kind of been getting hit. I thought that this might be a good value play here for the A's today. But honestly, traveling into Chicago after just coming off their last series, they're just not in form. They're not looking good. They don't have the type of starting rotation they need to compete in these games, in my opinion, as well as a bullpen to back them up, especially if their starters come out early. I think that Sean Burke has a bounce-back spot here, continues to build on his ERA, continues to pitch below a sub-4. We'll see if these bats with the run differential with the White Sox, it's a +4 run differential. If they can wake up today and start generating some runs, they haven't done it the last couple games, but the data says the better team's the White Sox, and I agree with blowout alert here. So give me the White Sox here on the money line, -157. There is value there on the A's. I just don't think the A's bats are in form. I know they got Kurtz and Langeliers that can change the face of a game in one swing of the bat. But Jacob Lopez is just a big liability against a really good offense with a clear run differential edge. So go ahead and give me the White Sox here on the money line. I think they can get after Jacob Lopez. His ERA on the road is a 6.4, and at home it's an 8.5. I just don't like that ERA regardless. I'm going to fade Jacob Lopez, and I'm going to trust the bats of the White Sox. Let's keep it moving in this next one. You got Hunter Brown, in my opinion, one of the better pitchers in the MLB. He did give up 6 earned runs in his last game. I just think there's some control issues there that day. Occasionally, guys are just going to not have the control, and that's that. But I'm going to ride with Hunter Brown in the bats for the Astros. These bats have been really solid all season long. The Rangers, they hit lefties really well, but in this spot, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Just because they're not matching up here with Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown is a righty here. He's going to be able to get to this team, throw the strikeout stuff. Go ahead, give me Hunter Brown here. Continue to build off of his solid starts and bouncing back from his poor start in the last outing. I'm going to go with the Astros here on the money line, minus 143. Next one up, Los Angeles Angels taking on the Minnesota Twins. There's an edge here to the Twins, guys, but this Angels team has been improving slowly but surely. Trout coming back into the order kind of gave them some life. Grayson Allen, out of his last 4 starts, or I should say Grayson Rodriguez. Grayson Allen's an NBA player, guys. Grayson Rodriguez has played really well off of his last 4 starts. He did have the one outing where he got worked with 8 earned runs, but that's kind of an anomaly, and he was facing a decent offense in that 8 earned runs. That was the Colorado Rockies back in Colorado, where they had been crushing the ball all month long of June. So I'm going to go to the Angels here on the money line. I think there is value there at plus 124. I feel like this is a 50-50 game. I don't fully agree with, I know the Twins do have the run differential. Their bats have been awake, and they have been hitting the ball really well. Some sharp money has moved in onto the Twins side of things. But for me, I just think the Angels are the better team here right now over the course of the last 2 weeks. I like what I've seen out of Grayson Rodriguez. Their bullpen has improved. So for me, a Twins team that has a bad bullpen. Zebby Matthews got pulled early in his last start, hasn't looked phenomenal in some of his starts. I think he's gettable, and I think this Angels team, with the bats that they do have in the lineup, big home run hitters from Neto, Soler, Trout, Adele, even Chanel. I mean, if they decide to roll out Logan O'Hoppe today, I mean, they've got a lot of guys who can go yard, just like the A's, who in one swing of the bat can change the course of the game. I'm going to go with the Angels here on the money line for the value. So let's keep it moving here. Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, another maybe a value play to look at. You got Chris Sale on the mound, and Sale has been really solid, but these bats for the Cardinals have been phenomenal as well. Leahy pitches really well at Busch Stadium. He's got a sub-4 ERA at Busch versus being on the road where it's roughly around a 5 ERA. Chris Sale has been gettable. He's given up home runs in a couple games in his last few starts. He's stacked up a couple losses. I think this Cardinals team is real. I don't think that they're a phony or a fraud team where they're going to regress all of a sudden. The Braves, their bats have woken up. They've been hitting some home runs. They've looked much better. Look what they did yesterday. But for me, guys, this is a value play. This is the Cardinals here at plus 140 versus paying the juice at minus 170. I don't want to pay the taxes on the Braves that I just can't trust. I haven't seen enough out of them to say, hey, they're back. This is the Braves team that I can go ahead and pay 168 for and know that it's going to be a win. I just don't think that that's the team right now. I want to see Chris Sale bounce back, command the mound. I want my money on the side of the Cardinals that have been winning a lot of games here as of late. 48 wins, 44 losses on the season, playing really good baseball. They've got great bats in their lineup. All of these guys are hitting it really well. I know that it is a lefty where they haven't hit it as well against lefties in the month of June, but they're looking to bounce back on that. They just, had a recent matchup with a lefty, performed really well against them, and I think that they can bounce back and have a really good start here. They did well in the Milwaukee series. Obviously, what's his name? Miz, they played really good against him. That's probably the best lefty they've played against over the course of July so far, and they got after him. I think they can do more of the same. If you're going to say, hey, they can get after Miz, there's no reason they can't get after Sale with the way they've been hitting the ball lately. Give me the Cardinals here on the money line. I will have to slightly disagree with this one here. I understand that Atlanta, Chris Sale is an elite pitcher. I know that, he has the better FIP, 2.5 to a 3.2. But for me, it's Cardinals or nothing in this one, and that's solely on the fact that, look, the Braves just haven't been good over the last 30 days. They've turned the corner this week, but I'll need to see more of that before I go ahead and pay the minus 168. Give me the Cardinals here for the value at plus 140. Next one up, guys, you got the Padres taking on the Blue Jays. I want to play the over in this one, but I'll go with the Padres as well on the money line. JP Sears, 0 earned runs. Then before that, he had 2 earned runs. He has been hot and cold, but so has Shane Bieber. Bieber hasn't looked good in his return to the MLB, and even in the minor leagues didn't look all that sharp. He's rocking almost a 10 ERA versus a 5 ERA with Sears. Once again, you guys know how I feel about the bullpen with the Padres. I think they're one of the better bullpens in the MLB. They still have really solid bats, even though the bats just really have not been there at any point this season. They just haven't. Jackson Merrill hasn't hit the ball as well as he started in the beginning part of the season. Tatis hasn't found his power. Machado's been the bright spot in this hitting lineup, honestly. Him and Ty France. And Duhar occasionally, but really it's just France and Machado, the only 2 guys who've been consistent in this Padres hitting order. But I think this is a spot for them today to get after a guy like Bieber. So go ahead, give me the Padres on the money line here, and I'll take a look at the over because I believe both these pitchers are gettable today for both sides. Even a struggling Toronto Blue Jays team with the bats. I think both these teams haven't been very good with generating runs. I think these are the perfect matchups for them to get right today. I trust the bats and the bullpen a little more with the Padres. Padres on the money line. All right, 2 more games on the slate, guys. You got Arizona Diamondbacks taking on Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez has been solid for this team, man. It's hard to fade him sometimes. You know, they went toe-to-toe with the Dodgers in their last series. But look, I know he's a ground ball specialist. You know, he doesn't give up a ton of home runs. He doesn't give up a ton of base hits. And the contact he gives up typically isn't sharp. But look, it is Ohtani on the mound. Ohtani has had his struggles in his last 5 starts, but Ohtani's a guy you don't want to bet against. If I'm betting on Ohtani, he's going to have a bounce-back game here. He's going to give up less than 2 earned runs. He's going to get the win. And give me the Dodgers. Give me the Dodgers here. Clear edge on the run differential, +1. Better starting quality pitcher. Ohtani with the 2.5 FIP versus a 4.21. They obviously have the record edge playing in Dodger Stadium where they play much better. Give me the Dodgers here. I'll lay the run line, -1.5. And we'll keep it moving. Last game of the night, Robbie Ray, one of the better pitchers over the course of the last 30 days in the MLB. Look, he did give up 3 earned runs in his last outing, but 0-0-0. He gave up 5-0. So this is the spot where he comes back and throws the high stinky cheese, guys. He hasn't had a lot of games like this, you know, where he's given up 3, 9, and 4. Most of what he's done is he'll have a bad game, he'll bounce back, keep the earned runs really low. Tanner Gordon, on the other hand, you can't say the same. He has been gettable all season long. He does have a few decent outings on his resume, but for me, he's moving in the wrong direction, playing in Oracle ballpark where the Giants play much better baseball. Robbie Ray pitches really well at Oracle, 2.5 ERA versus on the road at a 5.5. You got to give the look here over to the Giants. I don't love laying the -156 with the Giants. You know, this kind of is, I guess you could say counterintuitive to kind of what I've said before. You take the Cardinals because I don't feel good about laying, -168 with the Braves, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't really feel like the Rockies bats can get after this lefty today. They've hit righties much better than they've hit lefties. I do agree with the engine edge here over to the San Francisco Giants. If you absolutely wanted and had to play this game, I won't bet it today. But hey, forced to pick a side, -156 Giants. Go ahead, give me the money line here. I think that they have the better bats. I think they got the better starting pitcher. Bullpens are about a wash. You may give the edge to the bullpen on the Rockies here. But yeah, that's it. That's the show, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Please make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. I know you guys are tuning in every day. All I ever ask is for you guys to make sure you're liking the stuff. Help me grow the page, man. I get up every day and I put this content out for you guys. You know what I mean? This is my job. I don't do anything else. I'm not clocking in anywhere. Not anywhere. Where I clock in is on FanDuel. Where I clock in is here on SportsFBI. I get my information from here. I get my information from MLB.com. I look all over. I watch the books. I watch the lines. Bet365. I love Bet365 because it's a worldwide book. So you have an understanding of real line movement in that one. And something that you guys want to do is look at, if you're playing if you want to know a certain prop, if you want to know both teams to score today in FIFA, go look at 7 books. See how they're priced. Find yourself a book that is very sharp, and then find yourself a book that isn't so sharp. And then you'll have an idea of, okay, they're all priced the same. They believe this is going to be the outcome. And you look up, okay, what is the implied probability of this play at -136? Because all the books have it priced between -130 and -140. So now I know that the implied probability on that is about 60%. They believe that 60% this play is going to hit. Now, Are you willing to lay that juice? For me, I think it's yeah, right? And that's the same thing here for MLB. You go and you take a look. How many books have -1.5 with the Dodgers priced at -115? Are any of them plus money? Are any of them plus 130? You know, because then it's telling you they think that this is going to be a closer game where Arizona could be in it. So that's one way to read the lines, guys. And that's something that we do every single day on this show. Before we jump on here, we're looking at the lines. We're looking at the data. We're looking at the reason why that line is either going to be correct or incorrect. And the engine edges break that down for you here in the show. So if you see the engine edge to the side, you know that there's stats backing it up, right? You know that there's stats backing it up. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the show. Once again, if you want my premium plays, they're in the descriptions tab. Just click on the winnable link. Let's book the one way. Let's have a hell of a fucking weekend. UFC 329 tomorrow. We've got the last 2 games of the World Cup, final 8. You're going to have Argentina taking on Switzerland. And then you've got probably the game of the day. It's going to be Norway and England. So let's see how it shakes out. Big MLB slate before the All-Star break. And yeah, let's win the day. I'll see y'all later. Book the one way.